guys, Steve here. Thought I'd show you how I turn these little SCX lights into LED lights. I'm building a Nascar track over here, and I thought what I would do is have some floodlights and so forth so I can run some nighttime racing. These here are Subbuteo table soccer lights, which they're vintage 1960s, which I've had around for ages, but like most of these, the globes were bloody useless. They're more like an ashtray on a motorbike actually. So what I've done is just use some LED strips, and you can buy these, you know, a whole strip full of these for $10 from China. Very simple to use. The only trick when you're wiring them up is you've definitely got to have a positive and a negative. If you hook it up the wrong way around, they don't work. And the light they put out is pretty cool. I'll show you that a bit later. So I've got the same thing with these SCX lights. I picked some of these up, 3 sets of them, pretty cheap. They have a battery in them, or 3 batteries, and you get a 1.5 volt. And this little light here is it's just useless. So I thought, well, okay, I'll do the same procedure to these. So what I did was take the bottom off, ripple, and the battery cover that's in there has 1 screw, and then there's 4 screws which take off the battery terminals themselves, and you're just left with those wires hanging out, which you just cut off. And up the top, this part here, I just popped out the bit of plastic here. If you just carefully do it from the back, it pops out, and then you'll find that there's a tongue that sticks out that you remove, and you end up with that. So once you've got that, I'm just going to solder on a bit of LED, a couple of LEDs, and put them into here. So I'll show you the procedure. First step is to remove the bottom and the battery cover. Cut the wires off at the ends. The wire will just pull out of that little plastic part you've pulled off, and that's what you'll be left with. Next thing we do is start with the top. We're going to prise this little plastic piece off. Now, gripping just the front part here, we're going to remove that from the case like that, and pull out the silver part with the bulb attached with a pair of pliers. Before you do, disconnect those 2 wires at the back just by cutting them with a pair of side cutters. The whole lot now should have pulled out, leaving you just, hopefully that's in focus, leaving you just those 2 wires. Cut like off that. A set of 3, oops, sorry, idiot. Cut off a set of 3 of these LEDs at the mark just there. Where are we? Sorry, it's hard to do this and do this at the same time. Just at that mark. Note that 3 of them won't quite fit in there. So now you've got those. We're just going to flux them up. And when you're soldering these to the LEDs, just put this under the light so you can see it. You'll notice maybe, yep, there's a positive and negative on there. You can only just see it, so make sure you get the red to positive, white to negative, just so you know what's going on. It's now soldered on there. Now we just test it, hook it up to the power. There we go, pretty bright. So now we've got to fit it into the casing. Note that the 3 of them don't quite fit in the casing. I just bend the 3rd one back behind it like that. I'm not sure if you can cut it off and just have 2 there, because they always say to cut them off in 3s. Maybe I'll try that. It's a total fail. Yeah, see, that's why you watch YouTube videos before you do this shit on your own. I cut the 3rd one off, and no, it doesn't work. So keep the 3 on there and just fold it back under like that. Now, okay, next thing we do is just put our bit of plastic back in. There it is, all assembled with the glass in. I'll just turn it on. There you go. Puts out a massive light. Let me just turn these other lights off. They're on. There you go. Oops. They're pretty effective. They put out a really good light. Now I promised I'd show you the other ones, so I'll just do that. Here are the Subbuteo table socket floodlights. There you go. They put out a pretty good light too. Let me just turn that around a bit. So that's the area there. So it lights up. Okay, put some lights on around here. So there you have it. That's how to do the Subbuteo table socket floodlight and the SCX little pit stop light, and eventually they'll get installed over here on my Nascar Track. So hopefully that helps somebody out.